Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to take a look at the new DC Spin Master, the Dark Knight Trilogy Bane, and we're going to compare him to some of the other Banes that we've gotten at this scale.
Welcome to the party, pal!
Alright, like I mentioned in the intro, we are going to take a look at the DC Spin Master Dark Knight Trilogy Bane. We're going to compare him to some of the other Banes that we've gotten at this scale and see how he stacks up. First, let's take a quick look at the packaging. We've got an awesome picture here of Bane as he appeared in the Dark Knight Trilogy movie. Very cool card back. I do prefer my 118 figures in a card just like this, just like Star Wars, just like G.I. Joe used to come in, and with the bubble, the nice graphic. Does have this 85 years Batman anniversary that I was unaware of. I do like this. I'm glad. If you've watched my channel before, you know that I've mentioned I do like the Spin Master DC stuff, but I prefer the movie stuff over the more comic book animated style figures that they put out. I know some people it's the complete opposite, but that's just what I like. All of it is cool, but I prefer the movie stuff, so I'm excited about this line. I hope that they keep putting out more and more figures from all of the movies that we've gotten over the years, because it has been quite some time. If you go all the way back to '89 Batman, there's been a lot of DC movies, even before the DC, MU started. This is the card back, just another little same picture here, smaller. There was another Batman Returns in this wave, so it was a 2-figure wave. Pretty small, but nice card back, nice sturdy. All right, let's get this guy open. All right, we got Bane out of packaging, and I just want to show really quick, I had missed on the packaging, behind the figure, behind the bubble, there was this cool comic book art here of Batman and Robin, and like a cell from one of the comic books, which is pretty cool. All right, let's talk about this figure. So it is more of the standard Spin Master fare. It is pretty good. I've said this before in some of my Flash Batman videos. The Spin Master stuff, it's like 1 or 2 points of articulation away, I think, from really going somewhere and really drawing in more collectors. This is a kid's line, but so is, Star Wars Vintage Collection. So are a few other lines, but they're just good enough sculpt, paint, accessory, articulation that you get the old heads like me buying them. I do like this figure. I just, like I said, I wish, well, 2 things. He had just a bit more articulation. So let's go over that really quick. He's got a ball jointed head, shoulders, elbows, nothing in the waist, nothing in the wrist. He does have ball hinged hips, a thigh swivel, and a ball hinged knee single. Now, if he just had a waist, a wrist, and an ankle, those 3 points, I think that could really, really take these figures over the top. Much more like the Epic Heroes that Marvel's doing, or I should say that Hasbro's doing for Marvel. It's just 1 or 2 points articulation away. Now, the sculpt, I think, is pretty good. The paint's pretty good. It is pretty basic. The only other thing I would say, and it's about mostly in particular this figure, not the Batman or some of the other movie ones, because he came with no accessories, and this is Bane. It would be good if he would have had at least 1 fist, to punch out the bad guys. He's either going to be, throwing the hands with Batman, or he's going to be fighting the Gotham police, and maybe you leave 1 hand open so he can pick up a crowbar or a bat or some kind of melee weapon. But he really should have a fist, so he can punch. But you can see he's got some good sculpting there on the biceps, good musculature. Again, he didn't come with any accessories, so I'm not sure why. I know, you could use any DC Spin Master backpack accessory to fit on him, but that hole is, not, I don't think necessary. for every figure. But pretty darn good. Pretty good sculpt. His eyes are straight. Always thought this mask was pretty strange. Not how I typically think of Bane. In fact, I'm going to show you and do a comparison with some of the other Banes that I have. And I think this guy's more to me like a real world, like a Cobra, G.I. Joe type bad guy. He is real world, so you could use him for, you know, obviously for DC, for Batman, but also for your military stuff. Decent figure, decent figure. I think as a kid I would have liked this one a lot. As an adult collector, I just wish there was a little bit more articulation. But not bad, not bad. So let's put him right there. And let's do a quick comparison. I've got 3 other Banes in my collection, so that's what I brought out here. Let's do this one. This is from the Mattel Multiverse, when Mattel still had the line before McFarlane got it. And this is one of the first Multiverse figures that I bought. And you can see he's got great size. Again, he's done in a more realistic style. I really like this Bane. This is a very good Bane. I don't think he's too hard to get now. He has more of a traditional mask, but his outfit is different. I believe he's based on one of the Arkham games. Very cool. The articulation, again, is a bit better. He does have a waist swivel. He has a hinged knee, and he does have a, rather than a thigh cut, it's above the knee. And he, unfortunately, like a lot of Mattel figures, he has, they're not necessarily ball hinged hips, but he does have hinged hips, but they always leave that crotch piece there that a lot of Mattel figures have. Overall, though, I like this design. I like this look better than this look. And again, he's got more size because Bane is supposed to be really big. And this Bane, he's just pretty average sized. So that's a DC Mattel Multiverse Bane. And then this is probably the best Bane I have. He's not without his issues, though. And this is the Hiya Toys DC Injustice Bane. Now, this guy's got all the articulation that I love. He's got pretty good size. You see, he's bigger than this new Bane, but he's not quite as big as the Mattel one. But he's not without his flaws, because I, for one, I'm always weary when I see lots of tubing. Growing up, a lot of the toys that I had, if they ever had this kind of tubing, it always ends up cracking, breaking, coming off. And this figure, although it's fairly new, it's not an exception. This tube right here broke, and that's just from lightly moving it. I'm thinking over time these are probably going to break as well, but the design, the paint, the articulation, the sculpt, this Hiya Toys, this is, I think, the best Bane I have. He's got double hinged knees. He has a thigh swivel. He has an ab crunch and a waist swivel. He has a hinged elbow and shoulders that are a little bit hindered by this pad here. He's got a ball hinged head. One of the other problems, though, I did have with this Bane was, and this is system, how do I say that? This is, it happens a lot on Hiya Toys. They're a bit fragile. I think the newer stuff, the Judge Dredd and some of the newer Predators and RoboCops, they've gotten better over time. But for some reason, this Bane I had trouble with, and this shoulder, or I should say this elbow, did break. So I had to glue that back in. I did buy another one so I could have one that wasn't broken, but I haven't brought it out. Kind of making do with this one until it breaks again, or if I really need it. This one did also come with 2 extra hands. He didn't have any accessories, but he did come with 2 more hands. There are like open hands, so you can kind of grab guys and pick guys up. But as I mentioned earlier, I like at least to have one fist. This one had one fist, one open hand. This guy's 2 open hands, but I put the 2 fists on this one. This one I think is the best of the bunch. Again, all 3 are in a more realistic style, because the last one I'm going to show you is my last Bane. This is also a DC Spin Master Bane. He came with, I think, a Batman and a motorcycle, or like a bat cycle. You can see his proportions are way off. He's more based on a comic book or a cartoon, or a video game, something like that. So I never used this guy. I bought it for the Batman and the bat cycle. To be honest, this guy ended up in my fodder box. When I was going to do this video, I knew I had to get him out. So he has been in that box. I've never actually used him before, or posed him or played with him. He's got a lot of articulation. He's got basically the same articulation as the new Bane, because it is a Spin Master, so there's nothing in the waist, no wrist, no ankle. He does have a thigh swivel, ball hinged hips, ball hinged shoulder, elbow, and the head is on a swivel rather than a ball. They've solved the problem with the tubing, though, by sculpting it right in. And this is more of a kid, I think, of a kid toy. Where this is too, but because it's more realistic, it's more, you can use it for more different things. This guy, he's pretty silly looking. So I think if you want the most articulated, the best one is probably this one, but this one's pretty close. I think this guy's good. He's better than this one. I'm going to put this one off to the side, because he really just doesn't match up with these 3 because of his aesthetic. But overall, this is a good Bane. This is a good Bane. Especially at the price point. You can find this guy in retail right now. I think he's $7.99. He's $8. He is pretty good. But I don't think I'll use him to fight Batman. I'll probably be using him as a bodyguard or a thug for Cobra Commander or Destro, or maybe my Eagle Force Riot stuff. He does look kind of like a terrorist. But yeah, good figure. Overall, not a bad figure. Not a bad figure. Not at the price point. You can find this guy, I think, fairly easily at your local Targets right now, maybe even Walmart, Amazon. Like I said, $7.99. I think the most you could pay for this guy is $8. A lot of times the Spin Master stuff goes on sale, so you might be able to even find him for even less. But good figure. I'd pick him up. He's versatile. That was what I was trying to say earlier. He's versatile. He can be used with different lines, realistic looking lines. It doesn't necessarily have to just be Bane. All right, so there is a look at my DC Bane collection as we went through the new DC Dark Knight Spin Master Bane. Maybe I could do that like that. But yeah, you can find any of these Banes, I think, on your secondary eBay, Macari, What's Not, those kind of secondary apps. But yeah, if not, you can find this one at retail right now. All right, guys, that's the video. Quick one. I'll see you in the next one. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.